forgot.
Well, I gotta leave.
Away.
Okay, it's good, you got it.
Oh, yes.
I was told that they got,
All that's left is a couple of cones down the side of the road.
Okay, good.
they got the guardrail back there?
What's that?
Guardrail back there?
Guardrails up, there's a retaining wall, no equipment sitting there.
Go.
They took the trash right away.
Great.
More
Communication
trouble.
there, yeah.
Did you shoot?
Well, I figured if I didn't do that, then I just got to do all of the Parkway.
No, I figured
I have
it's like
to
that.
have to do
Well, it's that much farther to leave. Yeah, everything's
Done, yeah.
Everybody gets to do
You know, there was.
From the back of that.
Michelle, it's not that much farther to leave here and go down the river.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go back to, I'm going to Pinole, I'm going to Pinole, and then I'm leaving from there.
It still wouldn't be that much further.
It's
It's a long way.
There's no road
I don't mind it at night as much as now. I have to get back to the five kids. And the third building, and the first one I went down, it was really bad.
You're thinking, you're there, you drive up to the farm, there's probably parking like the door.
I got behind
The simple has to come out.
It's just something like how there's a cover. When they say pop, I think sewer line, gas line. I don't know what they're up to that they tried to fix it. They're doing 6 miles an hour. Yeah, there must be five.
At least it wasn't a handful of
I ain't
red ones.
insulted by that.
You know, at least it wasn't a handful of red ones. Hi. How you doing? Good. How about you?
That's all right, I mean, that would be,
Call our October the 4th meeting to order. If there's anyone here that would like to speak to agenda item, please sign up with Cindy. And we thank everyone for being here. It's going to be a little short meeting, not too long, and we're thankful that everybody's well in here today. We're glad our county manager's back. He's been puny with it, and we're glad he's back.
No puny back.
So, if you would, that's all bow our heads, and that's Tim Phillips to lead us in our prayer.
Dear Lord, thanks for this day and all many blessings. Lord, just be with us as we go through county business, Lord. Help us make the decision you would have to make. Give us wisdom and discernment, Lord. And Lord, be with all those that are sick and hurting, Lord, but most of all, be with those that are lost. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Let's all stand and do our pledge. Mr. Frank, will you lead us?
I will.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'll move right along with our meeting. We need a motion to amend our agenda to 3.3C. We want to put Mr. Ken Walker on there for telling us about the advertisement.
So moved.
All right, we have A motion to move and a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
That's totally the county manager's fault.
You didn't forget, did you?
I did.
He's been sick.
Could I say something?
Everything else is.
All right, we'll move right along to 3.2. We have proclamations and awards, and I don't believe we have any, right?
Madam Chairman, you're correct.
All right. And do we have anyone that signed up for public comment, Cindy? All right. And 3.2C, board appointments. I don't believe we have any of those, do we?
We do not.
All right. And at 4 o'clock, we will be having a public hearing, our second hearing for the CDBG neighborhood revaluation hearing. And keep us on time, Cindy, for 4 o'clock. All right, we'll move right along to 3.3A, subdivision approval. Are they here?
They was, but I don't think anybody else.
Well, we'll hold that off and go on down. Bruce, would you like to come at this time and do our tax administration, and you can get out early?
I can be brief.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. For the collections total for the month of September, I present for your approval, $733,320.20.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Along with collections sometimes comes from necessity of releases, Mr. Young. And so, that for your approval, I have $1,772.95.
Approved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve, and we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
And as far as the sales totals for September, you can see 147 sales is still drastically over what we're accustomed to seeing, but you can see the year-to-date down from 228 sales. So I think that's attributable to the fact that virtually everything that can be sold has been sold at this particular point. There are still plenty of real estate transactions happening each and every day, but you can see the sales price to assessment ratio at 69%, again saying that their valuation is coming at the right time. And on that note, I would ask that if anybody asks you all about the revaluation, go ahead and prime them to the fact that values will be going up. In some areas, they will be going up substantially based on the sales and everything that we are seeing. So we're mandated by the state to be at 100% of market value, and unfortunately, market value right now has gone through the roof at the worst possible time for setting tax values. So if anyone asks about the upcoming revaluation, go ahead and warn them that there could be a little sticker shock when they get the new notices. But we are, unfortunately, as you can see, following the sales and statute. So I will go ahead and put that out there and call up a newspaper reporter and ask to talk to them and try to get the news out a little bit that values will be on the rise.
This morning.
Yes, so.
How is, are you okay, on schedule with
We
revaluation?
should be. It's always down to the wire every single time. Mr. Barry can tell you that. He's got much more experience with it than I do, but we're in line. We'll be done one way or the other. So
They ask you to freeze time and say, what's it worth on January 1st, 2022? So you gotta wait till January 1st, 2022 to make that judgment on what it's worth.
we are. With the values that we're seeing come through, it's unlike anything. My short time doing it, or in my experience in my previous jobs, watching the land values do what they're doing. It's eye-opening. A lot of people want to be here, and we all know why, but it's one of those where it's taking deeper and deeper pockets to here and to stay here. So,
We lost value 2 revals ago, if
Yes.
everybody will remember, a tremendous amount of value, during that market crash. So we may be building back toward that.
we should be, as I was talking with you about what certain land values and commercial values in particular are doing, I have access to what's called the Marshall and Swift Appraisal Service. They come up with square footages and the like to use for properties and things like that. And so I've had to raise a certain price per square foot total substantially from. But I've got backing for the reason why we're doing that. There's a method to the madness. I was actually talking with an appraiser this morning, and the Marshall and Swift Service uses a scale factor on their price per square foot, and that has gone up average of 25% each in the last 3 months. That's a reflection of what the market is doing. Not that quick.
Was close to where we were before the crash.
Yes. Be fairly well in line. I don't have the specifics memorized totally, but it's going substantially closer to that mark, if not exceeding it.
I can't help but wonder if neighboring counties are growing at the same rate.
The limited discussions that I've had, the entire real estate market in the mountains in the western half of the state has gone crazy as it has here. So, and I think a lot of the situations, I think some of our adjoining counties may be benefiting from the fact that they're looking here, don't necessarily find anything here, so they'll go to the next area down the line, and prices may not be as steep there, and they can actually come. Our impasse in the market may be to others' benefits.
And I got my welcome home letter. Here's your tax
Mr.
bill
Aldridge
letter.
also said that he received my love letter, so we're glad that those are out and finally in the box. That's been a bit of a delay on my shoulders, so I apologize for that. So, but everyone's love letter should finally be reaching them to where everyone can. I doubled yours, Mr. Young, so you don't need to worry about it. So
the next page
I ain't
today.
going yet.
it should be there.
They have, though, I have, but they, have sent our mail, everything to Minneapolis, North Carolina Post Office, ended up in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Only the
That's
lot difference
fact.
in population.
That's fact.
Maybe someone up there will get the same thing.
Well, if they did, I hope they will pay. I guess that's better than everything from Minneapolis, Minnesota, ending up in Minneapolis, North Carolina. I don't know, I believe we could handle it, but.
But if you do need a copy, Mr. Young, come see us and we'll happily print you off all you need. So, thank you all very much.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you. Let's remind everybody that they can set this up in payments if they're in a. All right, we'll go to 3.3C. Mr. Ken, you can come up to the podium and.
Thank you.
Also, very much. I just really real quick want to talk about, everybody knows, of course, this is Avery County Chamber Business and Visitor Guide. Each year we, the last few years we've been page and asked the board approval of spending $405 to do a. And also wanted to make you aware that we were not aware of what our budget figure was, and last week at our EDC meeting, there was an unanimous vote to actually increase the size of the year to $5, but we'll talk about that next year. Other request that I have, and will stay within the budget, is for $250, and this is up to $250 to redo the ad. Right now, basically, and I think you all have a copy of my little presentation in front of you, it simply says, Comfort Day, stay for a lifetime, and it has our logo. It really is not telling people who are looking at Avery County from a business point of view what their economic development committee could do for them. That's what we're kind of looking at, is getting that a little bit more informative, and so I'm requesting additional approval of that $250. And as you can see, you know, they order 54,000 of these guides. It's in North Carolina and the 3 adjoining states. You really can't get a bigger bang for your buck than advertising, and so I put that to you for very much for your time.
Need to approve that, Cindy.
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor, say aye, but what's your amount that you're approving on?
The $495, well, I see his motion, $495 for the ad, plus the setup fee up to $250.
Right.
All right,
And we did have a public hearing for participants
Right.
up to $1,000.
So I move to approve again.
all right, so that'd be $515. Is that not right? All right,
750.
Yeah.
oh, 250.
745.
Okay.
745, sorry.
Yeah, 745, maybe
We're
we'll
gonna
all
bank
get it right.
$5.
It ought work you want.
So we have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor of doing this for our ad, Chamber of Commerce, say aye. Aye.
Old American,
All right.
that's wrong, I'm sorry.
All right,
Excuse him.
I believe that Philip can get 3.4A, our county manager updates.
Absolutely. Okay, with number one, thank you, board, and, good to be back, and yes, I had COVID, and, yes, I believe I got it from my grandson, and, yes, I was vaccinated, so I'm just asking Avery County, be careful. It wasn't fun, but it's okay, so our numbers, went down from September 24th to October 1st to 92, and tomorrow, somebody else that's sitting in this room will go off those numbers, so we'll even be better off if you'll look at the website tomorrow, with our caseload. We'll report that there are only 11 cases the last 7 days for children under 18 years of age, so I think the school system is doing a remarkable job on all of that. And between that same time period of September 24th to October 1st, there was 118 Avery County citizens vaccinated. So that's good. Anyone that needs testing, like we did, the poll is Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. And they are doing the quick test now, so that will be even better in those situations. There is a number, 877-562-4850, that you can call ahead of time and get some of your paperwork done, so you're not staying in the building as long if you're interested in that. That's all I have, unless there's any questions on our COVID numbers. School of Government is offering a course for the American Rescue Plan that Caleb has signed us up for beginning October 13th. It'll be 6 sessions. So we are hoping, is that the word, that this is going to tell us, board, you know, I know we've had a meeting about the American Rescue Plan, what can we spend these funds on? We hope to get those answers, and how we, what kind of advertising we got to do, what kind of memorandum of understanding do we have to do, what kind of agreements do we have to do to spend this money. So we're looking forward to that, so we can go forward with some of our plans, and broadband being one of those plans. Today, the county attorney's report has 2 leases in it. We're working with Skyline Leases to what I call is a fiber hut. So it's a small building that will upgrade fiber. There's actually 3 of those going in the county. Our part is to get 2 of those signed. the one at the high school and the one over here at the ball field. The one at Riverside, the school board handled that one, and I want to thank Michelle ahead of time for all the hard work on those leases. It's been a bear, to say the least, getting those.
It wasn't too hard, but it was a process.
It was a process. It was a process. So, had a great meeting with Skyline Leases, Friday before the world fell apart for the Barrier family. And, we will be doing a push out with the school system on getting people that need better internet, home or business, these cards, to take those home with your cell phone and download so they can pinpoint on a map where those needs are. Had a great meeting with them and their engineer that's mapped a lot of the places already, but we just want to make sure we get everybody that is in need on that map before we start the process of spending any money or anything, with the rescue plan. Still waiting to hear from the Dogwood Trust on our Freedom Life Avery County Coordinator for our drug crisis and incarcerated individual crisis center. Hope to hear from them soon. We did hear from the grant on the housing study and on our assessment study, which will get an inventory of all the water and sewer we have in the county including the municipalities, and the help with the broadband needs to help with housing. As y'all know, housing is on my board in there on the wall, and it is something, workforce housing is something I think we crucially need. This report will just help prove that point. So, we did get that grant. That paperwork should be coming soon. Just a reminder, we do have our trail grant still out there, so just keep that in the back of your mind. I hope to hear that that is a positive outcome for Avery County also, because that will be a game changer for Heritage Park if we get that trail grant. In your agenda consent items is an agreement with the High Country Council of Government to do some work on addressing. And I call it addressing because, as y'all know, we are without a mapper in our tax office now. So when the deed goes through, number one, you need a map, and you need it mapped. So we're going to, Bruce is looking at a contract with a company that we will possibly do from now until the end of the fiscal year, and see how that goes, and see if they can handle the mapping. In the agenda consent is an agreement with High Country Council of Governments to do the addressing part of that mapping, when that permit's pulled. And, I have a list that I will give you. It's not in your agenda packet that we just got on an email that tells you exactly everything that's going to be involved there, so we can get our communication systems up to 100%. This will be a good thing. We'll see how that goes with High Country Council of Governments, and then we'll get everybody back to the table to decide, are we hiring an address coordinator, are we hiring a mapper, do we need both, do we need one, and what will be the best thing beneficial for the citizens. So, I'll keep you updated on that. And the only other thing I have is the Woolly Worm Festival is next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So, I saw one that was completely brown, so I'm going to take that one and hope it wins. So that means good weather the whole time, right?
And Philip,
That is next week.
is this gonna try to fit in the tire that we bought, or rented out up yonder, instead of letting it sit for the?
Yes. So that update's already that is a radio update.
Yeah,
So yes, that's getting done.
that's
It's
getting
been
done.
slow, and parts haven't come in, but it's gonna happen.
Get to work on that.
Yeah.
Thanks to the charter operating guy. You gotta get some more back from them on the thing in front of the courthouse.
I have not. Supposed to come and visit the property, look at it, where we talked about putting it, and get a plan down on paper. I'll let you know. Yeah, there's a lot of things on my board, gotta get done.
All right? And all that.
That's all I have.
Well, I believe we can take care of our finance office, because we don't have but one little thing for us to agree on, and they look can handle that, I'm sure.
happy to inform you that all we have is less than $300 to do it above that before, so that's not too bad. And it's, just repaying some funds back that were not spent in the prior fiscal year. JCPC administration did not use all their funding for fiscal year 2021. It has to be paid back to the state. And this has moved the money forward from fiscal year 2021 to 21-22. Need a budget amendment, for to debit JCPC administration, general fund line item 7,000.6125 in the amount of $259.22. And credit fund balance appropriated, general fund line item 3990, amount of $259.22.
I hear a motion to approve.
To approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll ask for you today.
Tommy, is Eagles Nest coming?
They said they're on their way just now.
Okay.
Let's do approval of minutes.
Okay, we can, see that our secretary has really been working hard. She has our minutes brought up to date except for the last, 2 weeks ago that we had a meeting, so she's really getting on the ball. So do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of August the 23rd, 2021, our special meeting, August the 23rd, 2021, our closed session, September the 7th, 2021, our regular meeting?
Move we approve this report.
All right, I hear a second. All right, we have approval on the floor and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
3 minutes.
We'll just take a little break for 3 minutes and come back, all right?
Approve up to agenda consent.
Well, yeah.
Well, how are you? Doing well for the shape on you?
Something happens. You're on the right side of the grass.
Every night you go to bed, you wake up a day or older.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
there's that. You gonna make it this month?
Yes. Thank you.
Did you have a chance to look at that email about Jamie McMahon?
About redoing the.
Yeah, he wants to convert that microloan into a grant writer. Yeah.
Interpretation.
Yeah.
I think, because it's subdivision.
I think it's gonna be more money each way, but, honestly, all we're doing is administering his money for him.
We still do hopefully, as we previously were doing.
He said, I mean, they're still in there, so if there was nothing in the paperwork that we're gonna curtail that. Honestly, I feel like it's underutilized. We don't need, we have 7 of those loans going out, so we're gonna pay back.
I know you're going to.
So, out of the initial $100,000,
I don't need that.
40,000. Basically, it was out, and out of that, I'd say that we're only owed 25,000 right now, something like that. So, yeah, I mean,
If you provide more
Now, what?
movement, then that's.
yeah,
It's gonna be
yeah.
a plate.
I'm hopeful that, he was talking about wrapping that up into a.
I don't even know about that, don't even care about that.
That might. They got that application. I was at email tonight. He's serious about it to get the application.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Anybody else think coffee? You want some? You want it cream? Anybody else? But she never got it, but she's around everybody to get it.
Minor conflict of interest with the board on that, but not.
Well, that's fine. I'll get you something, I'll need it on my percent. All right, we'll bring our meeting back to order, and it's 4:00, and we need to get started on our public hearing. And do I hear a motion that we go out of our regular meeting into our public hearing?
So moved.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, so we've got into our public hearing, and Michelle, if you'd like to come and talk again on it, we'll be glad to listen.
I have a little bit to report about it. This is the second public hearing for this, neighborhood revitalization program, and again, county's gonna be requesting $750,000. Department of Commerce has $10 million for the project. It is a competitive grant. To be eligible for the funding, the county has to submit an application to the state by October 14th, which is about 10 days away. And we not only outline what the county's gonna do with the money, but also to identify participants. And homeowner applications have been available at the Senior Center, DSS, the county website, just wherever, as many places as we could think of that we could get it out. They were accepted from August 6th through September 24th. Matter of fact, we ended up extending it because we didn't have that many people, didn't have as many applications as we hoped. Selection committee, which, has met several times to review and prioritize the applications. And we met the last Thursday and they ended up selecting 6 homes. 3 of these homes will receive rehabilitation assistance, which means we're gonna bring the existing home up to code. And the other 3 will receive just complete reconstruction. That means we take the home down and replace it with the double permanent foundation. And the homes are located, I'm just gonna be general, I've got more information for you all, but just for the public hearing, there's, 1 in Ingalls, Henson's Creek, Heaton, there's 2 of them in Frank, so it's kind of in that same area, then 1 here, just right outside the town limits here in Newland. And in addition to the rehabs and the replacements, the committee placed $75,000, yeah, $75,000 in the budget for emergency repairs. That's up $25,000 from the last time around. And these funds can be used to do one-time repair of $5,000 on a house, like building a ramp, fixing a roof. I can't say putting a roof on anymore because it costs more than that to do that. But to do, something small that somebody needs. And we don't have to have these homes identified because they're emergencies. When somebody calls in, that they'll be able to get help relatively right away. And these funds we're looking at last time around, letting Whammy handle those. They use like the clientele, and they've got the resources to do the intake, to manage those small repairs, the contract. I'm gonna let you pass those. That's a little bit more information on the homes that were selected. But that's all I have for the public hearing, except for any questions that y'all might have.
A lot of these homes, when we go in, we end up having to do a new septic tank and a new well. Because normally bringing these up to code, takes a new septic tank and a well. And,
With the last project, it was averaging I think we averaged about $114,000 for the replacement. And based on inflation, it's gonna be another year before this money is released for us to spend. And speaking with I'm also doing Mitchell County, speaking with their, building inspector, he said that, and this is what we're doing for Mitchell, we're putting $150 in for the replacement, putting that in the budget. If we spend that, hopefully we won't spend that much for home, but we have that available just in case. Then, hopefully, maybe when we get down the line a little bit, there'll be enough left out of each one of those homes we've over budgeted that we might be able to add another one about halfway through. I mean, I'd rather do that than see the money go back. And two, I'd rather over budget than under budget because you end up leaving somebody off.
Do we have anyone that wants to ask any questions about this? Everybody be well satisfied with it?
I just want to thank the committee for all the hard work because they kind of switched roles on us and the county has more responsibility now. And we, the county, has to go out and visit. So I want to thank Cindy and Cindy at Volunteer Avery and Allison for their time in going to these homes. And I got to go also to a lot of them, and it's very humbling. But it makes me feel good that we're going to fight to help these people because they need help. I hate it takes so long to get it done.
I'd like to thank Michelle for all the hard work that you do, because if you didn't have somebody behind it and trying to get it for us, probably wouldn't get done.
And then this Michelle sitting over here, she ends up involved in it also. So it takes the whole team to get it done. Thank you.
We know that Michelle has to do a lot of paperwork on everything.
Always, both Michelle have to do a lot of paperwork.
Match funds in action.
Yep.
So basically, we don't get paid unless you all do, so I'm doing a lot of, and this is where most of my work comes in at, is here on the front end.
Anything else? I hear a motion that we go out of our public hearing and back into our regular meeting.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
No, that's what I was getting at, I was making sure that we were doing that.
So now, board, they'll ask that you allow Ms. Martha as chairman to sign the resolution for the Avery County application for the community development block grant funding for the neighborhood revitalization project.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to move and a second, I believe Dennis was.
This time.
So, all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
It don't matter. I don't say anything, it's
You
still
still
a yes.
say no?
I don't say anything, it's still a yes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I think we're down to our attorney report 3.4C.
For the board's consideration, I have the Skyline Leases that Philip mentioned earlier. Leases are on the property. There's a .04 acre tract, which is out on the back side of the Paulfield property. And then there's .06 of an acre, which is on the high. So, because this was a lease for more than 10 years, it's published in the paper, and that time, it has been published, and that time has passed, so there's been no one filed, any type of an upset or anything on the lease. Ready for the board to consider and,
That's a question for you, Michelle.
The 104 county homes you're talking about over here, will that be located, hopefully not in the center of that piece of property?
it's like across from Banner's Cabinet.
But
On the other side of the creek,
On the other-
it is toward the creek.
It's adjacent to the road.
how big is that piece of property total?
On
Well, I'm
that
getting
side of
that
the
you're
road.
not gonna put it right in the middle of that
No.
property.
No.
It's a
No,
senior
that's
vintage.
adjacent to the road.
Do what?
It's next to the road.
Okay. But will it block access to that piece of property in the event that something else were to come up, we needed it for something else, the rest of it?
I wouldn't think so.
No, it's as close to the little creek as they could get on that upper side, right off the road.
I just hate to tie up a
Right.
2-acre tract for 4/10 of an acre. That makes sense.
All right,
So just a motion, I guess, for the chairman to sign the leases.
Is that for both or just one at a time?
Motion to sign the leases and approve the resolution.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Thank you. I heard you that time. You made the motion, so you better. Eli Johnson.
That takes care of all of it,
So
Michelle.
that's everything that I have for the board to consider today.
All right. All right, 3.5, staff reports and requests. I don't believe we have
Do not
any.
have anything, Madam Chairman?
Michelle, do we have anything to go in closed session?
I do not have anything for closed session.
I got a text from Derek Buchanan that said his guy will be here at 10 minutes after 4. He's waiting.
Well, we'll go ahead and, we've all had a chance to look at our agenda consent items, and Philip has pointed out some things in the consent. Everyone is satisfied with the consent items. We will approve them by consent. All right. We have our informational items, and Cindy and I was talking this morning. If there's not anything comes between now and the 18th, is it, Cindy? We might just cancel that meeting because we don't have anything pushing right now.
Knock on wood.
And then, starting in November, our meetings will go to one a month. So, if we can handle the first Monday in each month after that. And this one, Tommy, are they here yet?
Yeah, Mr. Church is here.
All right, so we will go back up and do 3.3A, subdivision approval, the village at Eagles Nest, Pod, lots 78, 79, 80, 82, 93, 94, and 95.
Good afternoon, Board. Mr. John Church here is here representing Eagles Nest, Eagles Nest Holdings, and the final plat review and submission by the Avery County Board of Commissioners. It was passed by motion September 27th by Bradley Calhoun, second by Cheryl Buchanan, and all members of the board at the meeting approved said motion. The county has inspected the all sedimentation controls, B&P, best management practices, approved the grading plan that is being followed. No off-site sedimentation has occurred at this time, and this phase of the development. Road widths are in the guidelines of the Avery County Subdivision Ordinance for emergency vehicles and turnarounds. The road grades have been certified by Judd Howe, the surveyor. Have any questions concerning this plat? Mr. Church would do his best to address that.
Have any questions from the board?
What is a planned unit development? So,
I've got an in general, not specifically pertaining to this, but a question. I'm on at least one place, if they've got a $30,000 or 30,000 gallon storage tank
Yes.
for water. Also included,
On this one, it's, I think it's like right across the road from me.
I'm just curious if there was adequate far
They're
service.
putting in another one right now, they're putting in a second one. As for this site, it's right there, it's in the vicinity, it's like 1,500 feet or something like that. Mile. I would have the Mylar, we'll get the Mylar to Mr. Turtlefield, your signature, because like I say, or you have the Mylar? No. We'll get the Mylar to you and you can get the text to it.
Is that in their possession?
Sorry?
Is that in Eagle Nest possession?
Yes, yeah, they are the property owner, Eagles Nest Holdings, yes, sir.
I know, I understand that, Mylar, if you normally bring it, they have that?
It was just sort of a mix-up today, they didn't get it to us, I mean, they had Mike sign it, and Derek, I guess Derek has it with him, right? Yeah, it's in his truck, so, brought the wrong truck.
Brought the wrong track.
I'm from my mistakes, well, from having my mistakes, I mean, very smart.
Do you have any other questions from any commissioner on this?
Move to approve.
All right. Have a motion on the floor to approve, and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Thank you
And
very
we
much.
need to make
Thank you.
sure and get
Thank you,
that to
gentlemen.
us
Thank
so
you,
we
Lord.
can get it
Thank you,
signed.
Mr. Barry, thank you, Mr. Turtlefield.
Hang around just a second, I want to ask you one question.
Okay.
All right? Believe that covers our agenda for today. And we don't have any comments or anything from the board. Do I hear a motion for 3:11 adjourned?
So move.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second. So all in favor, as say aye, and we'll move right along to the house. Aye.
Good move.
Give me a few thousand, I need to give you some papers. Play.